initiative, or rather positive, was a big part of getting the biggest Trelino toilet into our tiny camper van. And this is the story of how we did it. Before I show you where we got to, it's probably a good idea to show you where we started. This is our old camping toilet, the Thedford. It is a Porta Potty 135 model. And you may notice it is on yoga blocks, and there's a good reason for that, which I'll show you in just a moment. But this is a cassette toilet, basically, which means there's water that you put in there and use this to flush. So there's a lot of water to begin with, and then when it's full, everything inside of it is also full of water. The flush water and then whatever you deposited into it all becomes liquid, and then you have to find a place to dump that out, which is not a pleasant process. You can see here that the Thedford toilet, without the yoga blocks, just was below the level of the bed. I mean, it did open, but it wasn't going to work out. Too low. So some yoga blocks in to level everything out. Here was the setup for the old toilet. First of all, we carried the toilet from the back of the van in this bag because carrying around a toilet is a little embarrassing at a campsite. Anyway, so we bring it in, put it inside the van here, and then we'd have to unpack everything. So we have these yoga blocks that we use to bring the toilet up to the right level, because otherwise it'd be too low. Carry a little extra toilet paper, and this is our toilet paper holder. Would go up here. And now this would be full of water, so it'd be a lot heavier than it is right now, but you put it there, and then at night when it's time for sleep, you flip the bed over like this, and as you can see, it was kind of right at the level of the bed, which wasn't great because your blankets would get in the toilet and all that sort of thing, or could, and the toilet might shift over, and so there also wasn't a lot of room for your legs. But anyway, that was the setup for the old toilet. So why get rid of this porta potty? It worked well, it was fine, but you can imagine with all the water in it and on yoga blocks, it's pretty wobbly. It might get caught in the bed sheets, and then with all the flush water and the wastewater in it, it was really heavy, and that meant Joanna couldn't empty it, only I could empty it, and it was kind of stinky when it was time to empty it. Truth be told though, we really only ever used it for number ones, and our recent trips to Yellowstone let us know that it might be nice to have a place to do number twos that weren't the public pit toilets. So it was time for something new. Here is our Trelino toilet that just came in the mail. I'm gonna open this guy up. There's the lid, very nice. So we can get it out of there. There's the extra bags, membranes, and that little red thing is the plug for the urine hole. There's the pee bottle down there. Out of the box. Up here on the table. So we got bags. Got a nice little how-to booklet. Do that very carefully. Funny. There's the e-bottle. Extra lid down there. All right. We'll see if we can't get this thing put together. side-by-side comparison. You can see that the porta potty is actually a little higher on top of the yoga blocks than the Trelino toilet is. Here's a side-by-side comparison of the two portable toilets. The Trelino is about 5 inches higher than the porta potty, and we were hoping that that difference would make the yoga blocks unnecessary. But as we were about to find out, we were going to be up against another problem. All right, here's the Trelino, which is obviously higher than the Thetford toilet, but when we first put it in here, here was the problem. Flipping the bed over, it hit. So that was in this situation that we needed to fix. Okay, so as you can see, there's some extra room down here where the jack is. So if I put the toilet here, there's obviously room, and it could even go at an angle. So we realized that, and that's when we knew we needed to make a little base to fit over this area right here. One of the first things I did was make a cardboard template of the base of the toilet, so I'd know exactly how big to make the stand. So with the toilet template over the rails there and the jack, I could see how this was going to fit. The toilet was going to fit in here, and I knew that this jack was a little higher than the rails, so I was going to have to figure out how to clear that. And from this, I could make the template for the actual base. And so here's the template for the base, and there's the toilet template that goes on top. And that's about how it's all going to go together when it's all done. This isn't a construction video, and our HOA doesn't exactly encourage the use of loud power tools, so I built the base without filming anything. But I did take a couple of pictures of all my toys out on the patio. I only used one 2x2 sheet of plywood, glue, and some brads. So after a bunch of cutting and nailing and sanding, here's what I got. Base. The toilet will sit on. Now, just gotta put some sealant on it. See how that goes. Here is the base after putting the stain on it. Not sure about the yellow color, but I guess it might grow on me. It is, after all, to hold up a toilet. P is yellow, right? The felt on there is for when it's flipped over so it doesn't tear up our wooden floor in our camper. Same thing with these little rubber feet on the bottom here. That's hopefully going to help the whole assembly from sliding when we are using our new Trelino toilet. And so here is a closer look at the template for the base, and there's the actual base. Here's a better look at what the toilet looks like on the base. Those little spots keep it from moving forward towards the bed when it's being used, and that keeps it from moving too far back. And actually that side, the chair's right there, but I put another one on there so it's all stable when it's in travel mode. There you go. This is the base flipped over. You can see where I've got the cutout there so that it will clear the jack when it's being used. And then there's, zoom in on those little feet. I'll try it out. Okay, here is the completed base, and this felt is for when we flip it over for traveling mode, but as you can see, it goes right down here on top of the two rails and on the floor, and the rubber feet down on that I showed before keep it from scratching the wood. And then the toilet goes in there at an angle like that, give you a little more room. And the lid opens, and it's all set. Success. So here it is, nighttime position. As you can see, it's above the mattress, and the lid comes up, and you're all good to go. This has actually never been used at this point, so no worries there, but it's all set, and we're gonna try it out pretty soon. One last thing I wanted to show is all the room from the front of the toilet that you have for your feet. So those nighttime visits to the bathroom, now you got a place to put your feet, where before we didn't have that space. Cool. All right, now it's time for driving mode, and here's the base. And so when it's time to drive, the toilet's obviously off. So you take this out, and you notice there's the plywood for the floor of the campers here, and the van floor is there. There's a ½ inch. So I made this extra strip here, so it flips over, and it catches on that right there to keep it securely in place. And then all the stuff you need for the composting toilet, the coconut core and the vinegar and water, all that stuff goes in this box, and it fits right in there directly, so it's all ready to travel. And the toilet, because it doesn't look like a toilet, just goes right there, and you're all set to go. Perfect. Okay, this is the inside of the Trelino toilet, and again, we've never used this, it's brand new. So here's the opening. That's a little plug there to keep any urine from splashing back out, but it separates, so the urine goes on this side, the solid waste goes on that side. This is what it looks like inside. And this is the pan, and you just put a bag in that. All the solid waste goes in that with a coconut core to keep it from smelling. And the lid tucks back there. And then that's the urine jug, and you can see there's an extra lid for it there. And we even ordered an extra urine lid. And it all goes back together like that. And we even found out that the toilet paper, extra toilet paper, could fit there. So maybe Trelino, in your next toilet 2.0, you can add a couple extra little toilet paper holders there. And this goes back on. And there you go. We'll give it a shot. Soft close lid. Okay, last thing. That bag we had our old toilet in fits the new one too. How awesome is that? Classy.
Ulu Kaka.